Hey there guys, Gutslove here. Just a quick note, this video was originally released on April 18, 2019 to coincide with the Switch release of Cuphead. Unfortunately, there was one big mistake in the spoilers time frame, along with how I originally wanted this video to be, so consider this as a director's cut. A big thank you to Erin Mills, also known as Dubious Khan, for voicing the narrator. This video is dedicated to my dear friend Mollie, known as Puccafangirl on Tumblr and Twitter. With that being said, let's go on with the video.
What the heck are you? What are you even supposed to be? What did that little spirit say again?
This Imperial brooch. With this brooch, you will be able to wield magic beyond your wildest dreams.
And if I use magic, I'm gonna get something cooler.
Yes.
Okay, I'm hyped. Oh yeah, a brooch of some kind. But why did it have to be pink? Well, this is not gonna help, so why did I bother? Should I just say an incantation like Tirana Necta or Hocus Pocus? Avada Kedavra? What can I say? What can I do? Shazam! Fly! Go web go! Come on! Let's activate! If only I could just, like, do I press a button? Do I remember there being a page around here. For the glory of shadow, darkness is mine to command. Well, that's just... Whoa. What the heck happened? And why are my clothes different? Well, better make the most of it.
Hot dog, everybody! Get your records playing and drink those wallets, because we got the biggest hit from the other side of the tracks, the land of Microsoft. Such a wonderful little game that tests your wits and your patience. Returning to the olden days of difficulty in gaming, brought to you by the Moldenhauer brothers. What will this indie video game have in store? Will it wow us with its gameplay, or leave us in the dust, cloaking a bad game under that pretty little curtain that is its art style? Tune in now for Gutslove's review of Cuphead in Don't Deal with the Devil.
Oh my goodness, people! This game has been one of the most infuriating, rage-inducing, vein-popping, relief-giving, astonishing, amazing, incredibly animated breath of fresh air that I didn't know I needed. This game is as stunningly well-crafted as it is the cause of most of our lightheadedness and anger. No joke.
This game is hard as balls.
Made by the Moldenhauer brothers, Cuphead is your run-of-the-mill story of two brothers, Cuphead and Mugman, who, by dealing with the devil, you do his bidding in order to save your soul. Classic, straightforward, and simple. And I truly believe that its simplicity aids in its gameplay. On this quest to keep your soul, you have to obtain the soul contracts of your fellow Isle inhabitants, and they aren't gonna give it to you without a fight. Ever since the first teaser trailer of the game, we've been told that Cuphead was going to be a full-on bus rush kind of game. No levels, no grinding, just bosses, which was amazing. No other game nowadays does that. Plaster that with a classic 1930s cartoon design and rubber hose animation, you're gonna gather a lot of attention. Then Microsoft swooped in and told the brothers that they wanted to publish the game. The Moldenhauers took this opportunity and, after mortgaging their homes, managed to add more bosses, stages for the player to get currency for power-ups, and more beautiful backgrounds and animation. This game is basically an animation nerd's wet dream, packaged into a video game, and that's saying a lot. I love both animation and video games. I keep staring at the animation and I still wonder how they did it, but more on that later.
Here's a real high-class bout. It's on!
What's with the gameplay? Simple. You run, fly, jump, dodge, parry, and shoot, while avoiding all the stuff that the bosses and or characters throw at you.
Rootin' tootin', ready for shooting.
That's where one's skill comes into play. This is Contra and Bloodborne levels of hard. I still remember how I first fought the root pack with nothing but my keyboard. No damage, a few parries, easy as pie. Then I went to the first run and gun. My ass got handed to me like a Catholic in church. Each boss has its own pattern that you soon identify and learn after many retries. And that's still no joke. They will change it up if need be. This is one of the best things this game can fling at you. You get a sense of victory when you learn their patterns, only for them to pull the rug right under us and punish us horribly. A good example of this is the Baroness von Bonbon fight. She sends out her subjects that are randomly selected. You'll face either the Gumball Machine, Flying Waffle, Muffin, or Gobstopper before she charges at you with her cake castle. Depending on the boss, you're either on platforms, the ground, or flying, which is a cool way to mix things up a bit. If each boss fight was ground only, it would have gotten old quite fast. These fights can either be of 3 to 4 phases. You have to plan accordingly if you want to defeat them. Let's compare the Rumor Honeybottoms fight with Grim Matchstick. Both force you onto moving platforms with things being sent at you. The dragon has you plan a strategy before you have to shoot from right to left as your platforms move to the left. The dragon moves from one side of the screen to the other in 2 phases. The boomerang helps in this fight, while the Rumor Honeybottoms fight has you going up the honeycomb. In the last phase, Honeybottoms turns into a plane and is going straight up at you. The lobber works wonders due to its low range, but it goes straight down onto the boss. And how can you get these different attacks? This is where the run and gun levels serve their purpose.
A brawl is surely brewing. You're up!
Acting as a break between bosses, you go into these levels with their own obstacles and enemies, even mini-bosses at the end of the select few, for power-ups and different attacks in Pork Rind's Emporium. And don't think you can go back through these levels to farm the coins. Once you collect them, they don't respawn, so give it a few minutes before buying. They could save your ass or make the fight harder. Make sure that whenever you buy a new attack or power-up, you equip it in your menu. I went through 3 Beppy the Clown fights thinking I had the smoke bomb ability, which makes me invisible while dashing, kind of like a ninja. Always check before a boss. Some power-ups include an extra hit point, have your super meter grow even if you're not hitting a target, and a parry accompanying your first jump. The attacks are equally different and have their own range and damage. Pea shooter, spread, chaser, lobber, roundabout, and charge. Change it up when facing bosses. Experiment with combos and their supers. The strongest attack is, of course, the charge. You have to press the attack button without letting go for a certain amount of time. Point, then shoot to deal the highest amount of damage. Again, it is up to you.
A great slam and then some. Here goes.
The world of Cuphead, the Inkwell Isles, are separated into 4 parts, each with their number of bosses and run and gun levels. Some are instantly available while others need a certain boss to be defeated or run and gun to be completed in order to be available. Or if you're a cheeky bugger and poke around, you can find a few hidden passages that lets you jump to a completely different area, giving you access. There's also some secrets sprinkled around the isles. If you talk to some of the inhabitants, you get some side missions to obtain some extra features, like black and white mode, which is what it is, changing the musical notes between the minimal piano style of music or the full-blown orchestra version, and also a 1930s color palette version, which is pretty neat. Besides that, you can obtain coins for your power-ups, like helping a pastry girl find a shortcut to the rides on the other side of the second aisle, which also helps you get to the dragon boss without having to open the path before Jimmy the Great. Here's a tip for any of you who plan on getting the game through Steam and not via Xbox. For the love of God, use a controller. Keyboards make your fingers hurt and it makes changing buttons difficult. I did this at the beginning of the game because I didn't have a controller. I suggest a simple Logitech one if you're willing to cough up about 20 or 30 bucks for a controller. Now, to my favorite part of the entire game, the art style and animation. The Moldenhauer brothers went above and beyond to make this game as eye-catching and nostalgic. They were raised with the old-timey cartoons and they wanted to share their love for them in a game that reflected the shorts from yesteryear. They studied the rubber hose animation, the simple yet charismatic designs, and took lots of tips from Richard Williams' Animation Survival Guide to boot. If you're an animation nerd or aspire to be an animator, this book is a must-own. With all this, they also managed to slip in references from the cartoons they grew up with, including many Fleischer productions like Betty Boop and Popeye. My friends keep telling me that the game screamed early Disney, while I disagreed and said it was similar to Fleischer's style of animation and tone. In what instance did Disney make a story about dealing with the devil or anything with the devil, excluding the Goddess of Spring and that one Pluto cartoon where he's judged by cats? Disney did a few, but never entered the more morbid and drug-related shorts like the Fleischers did. One of the Moldenhauer's inspirations was the Minnie the Moocher short from Betty Boop, and many others from the same studio, including the Out of the Inkwell series. And wouldn't you know it, the Inkwell Isles is Cuphead's world. You cheeky chickens.
Extra, we're about to enter spoiler territory. If you wish to remain free from this burden, skip to the following time frame. This is your final warning.
Good day for a swell battle. And begin!
You've gathered the soul contracts, you've reached the Devil's Casino to save your soul, and facing one hell of a boss rush with King Dice. Seriously, this is panic-inducing. Props to whoever managed to pass this. Once he's beat, you arrive at the Devil's Tower. He offers you another deal. Give him the contracts and become his lackey, or fight for all the souls of the Isles. Well, it's obvious, isn't it? You join the Nope.
This match will get red hot. Here goes.
You fight him off in one of the most difficult fights, even going straight to hell to finish him off, facing the Prince of Darkness and his goons. Spells in different forms, rams, bugs, and snake-like dragon forms. Strategy, timing, and planning is key. Check your abilities and attack choices. Change your super if you have to. After all that's said and done, all the trials, tribulations, and rage-inducing repeats, you finally defeat the devil. Relief and victory flows through you as Cuphead and Mugman burn the soul contracts, freeing each and every one of the inhabitants of the Inkwell Isles. Amongst the cheers and congratulations, the story ends like a book, hinting at a future adventure of the two little mugs who dealt with the devil. This game. What can I say about this game? This game took one of the biggest risks I've seen in gaming. Two people who were passionate about animation and putting it into a video game. You can feel it with every single frame on the screen. The Moldenhauers oozed the original masters and brought back to life how animation was done back in the early years, along with how games were originally unforgiving and gave us this little miracle. Indie games are the risk takers compared to the AAA developers, and they will keep on surprising us.
Here's to you, Moldenhauers. Keep on doing what makes you passionate and share it with the world. With that being said, Gutslove's rating for Cuphead PC version is a whopping 9.5 out of 10. You may rage and cry out to the heavens, but there's no mistaking it. Cuphead and his pal Mugman have brought us a wonderful change of pace in this little platformer. And we are happy to inform you that this game has been nominated for countless awards and won most of them, including hitting double platinum in sales. If you haven't played this game yet, hit up your Microsoft or Steam store and get it, you fools. The Miss Chalice DLC is coming soon with new levels and bosses. It's not too late.
You can play while you roam. Cuphead's coming to Switch.
So, what now? Do I just press buttons again or try to say something? Wait, those magic words. For the glory of shadow, darkness is mine to command. God damn it, I knew it wasn't gonna work. Okay. So, I kind of figured out the words. Holy crap. Wait a second. I figured out the words. Now the question is, will they always work? Or are there any other special words for you? This is gonna require a few tests. Let's see what else this little pink frame can do.
Best of luck to the Moldenhauers. We cannot wait for the next game. This has been Gutslove's review of Cuphead. Good night, everybody.